G'day everyone, welcome to another edition of Chris Rankin's Music Crush. I'm doing a contest entry for Dr Oktøber, Mika. Really good channel. He just thought he would do a contest just for the hell of it, so I thought I'd definitely support him and his channel and do an entry for the contest. So all he asked was to show 3 soundtracks that you think are great, and just a little bit of why you think they're great. And he also said not for it to go any longer than 8 minutes, which is always a challenge for me, but I'll give it a good go. I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. So here we go. First of all, now I've got lots of soundtracks. There's a lot that I love. I've got the Shout music soundtrack that I love, Dusk Till Dawn soundtrack, which is so good, the Spawn soundtrack, just so many great ones, but I've picked these 3. So first of all, I've gone for this. This is an absolutely brilliant soundtrack from The Last Action Hero, the Arnie movie. It's really a fantastic metal compilation, absolutely fantastic. 2 of my favourite songs by 2 different bands are actually on this album. So my favourite Queensryche song of all time is Real World, which is on this. That big orchestral sort of number that they do that's just got the best symphonics for a headphones you'll ever hear. It's also got my favourite Alice in Chains song, which is A Little Bitter, and this is the only place it was on. It was released as a single and on here, but I don't believe it's on any Alice in Chains studio album, and it's heavy. It's probably the heaviest song Alice in Chains have ever done, just brilliantly heavy. The most metal for sure. You've also got the great Fishbone song on here. You've also got the great Cypress Hill song, Cock the Hammer, so good. Megadeth, Angry Again, and of course the big single off this was AC/DC's Big Gun. And also Anthrax, Poison My Eyes, and Alice in Chains, What the Hell Have I? So there's 2 Alice in Chains. Great, absolutely brilliant album. And as I say, it's just a straight up fantastic metal compilation. This came out in 1993, which I got at the time of the movie coming out, which I also think is the most misunderstood movie, one of the most misunderstood movies of all time. It was pretty brave for Arnie to take the mick out of himself like he did in that movie, and that was pretty much the whole point of the movie. I think it's a bit of an underrated gem, actually. Next up, Blues Brothers. Quite possibly my favourite soundtrack of all time. Yeah, it'd be pretty close, I think. Maybe just a little bit more over The Last Action Hero. Blues Brothers is one of my favourite movies of all time. Definitely in my top 5 comedies, and probably in my top 10 movies of all time. I bought this on CD when it first became available on CD. Of course, the movie's 1980. She Caught the Katy, Gimme Some of Lovin', Everybody Needs Somebody to Love, The Old Landmark, Think, the great Aretha Franklin, and of course one of my favourite songs of all time, Sweet Home Chicago. Just brilliant blues all throughout this album, with so many great performers on here. Ray Charles, of course, you've got the Peter Gunn theme as well, Aretha Franklin, Minnie the Moocher, of course, just so good. Cab Calloway, of course. Just a great album that when I was a kid and I first got this on CD, well, I was 12, I played this so much. Yeah, just love it, the Blues Brothers. And there was another one that I've got as well, which is like, it's called something like more songs from the soundtrack of the Blues Brothers or something, which was sort of other songs that you heard in the movie. And last of all, Ghostbusters. I also bought this when it first became available on CD, well, in Australia anyway. So it's about 1986, like with the Blues Brothers CD. And this is, of course, the original Ghostbusters, the 1984 movie. So many great songs. Of course, you've got the great Ray Parker Jr. song, Ghostbusters, Who You Gonna Call? You've got 3 different versions of the theme on here, different styles and different themes. You've also got the great Magic song by Mick Smiley, That's really great song where, if you remember, the ghosts sort of break out and go flying across the sky of Manhattan. Really trancy, trippy, sort of brilliant song. Cleaning up the town, the sort of rock and roll type song, and Saving the Day, the big epic sort of saving the day song. I love Ghostbusters. I watched this quite a few times at the cinema when it came out in 1984, quite a lot. And yeah, the soundtrack's great. I absolutely love the soundtrack. So there we go. There's three soundtracks. I might even do a video one day to show all of my soundtracks, because I've got a few. I've shown the Top Gun soundtrack that I have on vinyl a few times, and yeah, Dusk Till Dawn, Spawn, Buddha of Suburbia is a David Bowie soundtrack, and Shout, great rock and roll movie, and lots of rock and roll songs in the soundtrack. But anyway, can't go over 8 minutes, so thanks very much for watching. Great contest idea, Mika, and please subscribe to his channel, Dr Oktøber. Thanks all for watching. I'll catch you soon.